Kawhi Leonard, two-time champ and Finals MVP, one of the greatest defenders of all time. The multiple All-NBA and All-Defensive star still shows how great of a player he is. But over the past years, we've not seen much of Kawhi Leonard, as we have seen the multiple games of load management from the wing. As we now know, he kind of has robotic knees at this point. Leonard has stacked up multiple injuries, tearing his ACL, MCL, meniscus, and an ankle injury that you can say maybe changed history. Even though we know all about his greatness, some people say it's time for the future Hall of Famer to pack it up. Stephen A., I'm talking about you. And with the departure of Paul George and a lesser James Harden on a Clippers team with no draft picks and a lot of vets, things are not looking good for the little brother of LA. So it's time to throw in our thoughts on the situation of Kawhi. But before we go any further, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Like and comment your thoughts on the problem going on with Kawhi's robotic knees. And with that being said, Mal, with Kawhi's robotic knee, is it time to say he should call it quits?
Unfortunately, man, it's about that time. It's actually been that time. And robotic knees is kind of hilarious. I would really say arthritic knees because them hoes just don't work. He will go down in history, Kawhi Leonard. He is an all-time great player. He'll go down in the history books as one of the greatest small forwards to ever play the game. Whether people want to acknowledge that or not, I think there's been a lot of unwarranted vitriol aimed in the direction of Kawhi Leonard, and it's actually a tad bit disturbing, honestly. Once again, I think people are really coming at the man because of his personality. If this were LeBron James or Steph Curry or any player that the media likes, there would be more sentiment about us not being able to witness this guy's greatness on the floor and be able to watch him produce at a high level. But there's just been nothing but animosity, honestly. People really don't want to be honest and say how they really feel about Kawhi Leonard. People that have a problem with him can walk really through two doors. One, you don't believe that his injuries are legit, or you can enter door two, which is you just don't like the man, whether it's because of his personality or because he was viewed as a rival to LeBron James. So I guess we can say that's technically three doors. But I just feel like with him not being able to start the season off this year, that the coverage from the media has been very, very insane. Him retiring is a serious conversation, in my opinion, because the man just cannot stay healthy. But what's up with all of the criticism? Like, why are we critiquing Kawhi Leonard wanting to play for Team USA? It's evident, in my perspective, that the man wants to play basketball. He just cannot. It's really, really ridiculous that because the man cannot play basketball, he's getting criticized for not wanting to play or because he requires load management. I heard Shannon Sharp on Nightcap podcast when this situation broke, and it was evident that Kawhi Leonard was not going to be able to be there for the Clippers to start the season. He started going on about how Kawhi Leonard has never been a better player than LeBron James. What are we talking about? What does that have to do with Kawhi Leonard? Like, I feel like there should be a lot more support for Kawhi Leonard. The fact that we can't witness this guy do what he loves on the basketball floor. I think he should retire because I think at this point, you have to take into consideration your well-being and the state of your family. And I doubt that his loved ones want to see him continue to go out there and put his all on the floor, all for him to not be able to put his all out there because of his injuries. So then you also have, as Jalen alluded to, bozo ass niggas like Stephen A. Smith who are trying to insinuate that Kawhi Leonard is only available on the court when it's time to get paid. Like, are we fucking serious? So just to conclude, I do think that Kawhi Leonard should consider retiring, but if the brother is happy and he wants to continue to play basketball, I'm not going to fault the man for that. I just think that his family, he should take into consideration what his family thinks as well. But it also kind of goes into that. It's not a direct comparison, but, you know, with the Tua situation, this is this man's career. After basketball, Kawhi Leonard is probably never going to have a passion from a career standpoint in alignment with what he's done for his whole life to get to this point, which is to be a professional basketball player. So he's never going to get that opportunity again. So if he wants to continue to push himself to be on the floor, by all means, brother, continue to do that. But for all of the niggas that have some type of criticism for Kawhi Leonard just because he's unable to perform, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should look in the mirror. You are a disgusting person.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard's career is over. I don't know if y'all have been watching basketball for the last couple of years, but he's through. Ever since 2022, really when he got injured against the Phoenix Suns, I would say, in 2023 postseason, I was like, he needs to hang it up. Raps, its career's over. It's in jeopardy. He needs to retire with his career, be a family man, probably still go back to his apartment or his car that he still has from, I think, what was it, like high school? It's just over, man. Like, I feel bad, man, because a part of me is like, yeah, we're never going to hear about Kawhi Leonard like ever again. We may just see some footage of Kawhi Leonard playing in, like, God forbid, LA Fitness or some other place where he's just hooping, you feel me, like with his homeboy, because that's what brings him joy. Like, that's what Kawhi Leonard likes to do. He likes to play basketball, and whether people like to admit it or not, he has been a professional for multiple years. He is a NBA champion. He is one of the greatest players of all time. It's what he loves to do. It's sad. I feel like the Los Angeles Clippers. Okay, so we're gonna call them the Inglewood Clippers because they're the LA stepbrothers. Like, they're not really LA. You know, coming to the season, many people had them making a playoff push, maybe being in the play-in tournament, and it's not looking like that's gonna happen. Their chances are pretty much destroyed. It was funny to me that Ty Lue didn't reveal this information that Kawhi Leonard wasn't gonna be playing in the beginning of the year. Ty Lue kept on pushing it off as questionable. Like, we haven't put Kawhi Leonard, timetable on returning. And I was like, dude, of course he's not gonna play in the beginning of the season. Like, we all know this. Like, stop this gimmick. It reminded me of Mike Tomlin when he had the gimmick with Russell Wilson not playing, and then George Pickens just goes completely off the rails and was like, hey, yo, this is gonna be my starting quarterback going into the next game against the Jets, Sunday Night Football. Like, that's what it reminded me of. It's like, stop playing games with us, bro. We know he's not gonna play. So this is unfortunate for Kawhi. He's had a great, phenomenal career, and it's tragic that it's been nagged with all these knee injuries. This dude was regarded as the best player in the league circa 2019 through 2020, 2021. Many people were saying that. There were a lot of people that were saying that. This dude is a two-time finals champion, finals MVP, and for him just to be, honestly, he reminds me of Tracy McGrady in his latter years and with the Houston Rockets, where it's like you can tell the fall off has been there, and he's on his way out of the NBA. Prayers go out to Kawhi. Prayers go out for his Uncle Dennis. That nigga was funny. But yeah, hopefully Kawhi gets better, man. I do want to see him back on the NBA court because his game is so nice. Like, the jab steps, the mid range. Like, I need a bag, man. The only nigga I like that shoots mid range jump shots now is SGA. And Anthony Edwards, he thinks he's Steph Curry now, shooting 3 of 16 from 3. So that's a crazy straight. But nigga, you not Steph. Get in the mid range, nigga. But otherwise, I feel bad for Kawhi, man. He was a phenomenal player, phenomenal talent. But sometimes, man, you just gotta let it go, man. Just gotta let it go. And his career, he gotta let that go, bro.
Can't let that bag go.
That is definitely true. You can't let that bag go. You gotta rank it up. But yeah, Kawhi Leonard, man, like Mal said, one of the greatest. He will go down as one of the greatest small forwards of all time. I think a lot of people should applaud him, about this 2020 to 2023 span. He only played 50 games each season. You look at his past injuries, like I said in the intro, this dude is playing on arthritic knees and he's still getting buckets. He's better than most people out here. This dude is still averaging about 24, 25 points a game. He's giving you about 6 assists. He's shooting still on good splits, almost 50, 40, 90 splits still. I knew it was really time for him to pack it up, last year when, he was kind of in and out. And when he was inputted in the game, he really wasn't helping the team as much. And, as we were watching the game, we were like, dog, he might need to get up out of there. Yeah, it's sad to say that, such a great player like this, someone who keeps the mid-range game alive, that it's time for him to pack it up. I think guys like Stephen A. Smith should realize the greatness that he is and stop talking about these crazy takes about the money and all this. Dude, come on. This dude loves the game of basketball and he's throwing his body out there all the time. This dude's knees have been through it and he's still out there playing. But I think it's, safer for him to just go ahead and pack it up soon. And you got to look towards your family, be able to walk around and do all those things with them instead of have to worry about, sitting down and taking breaks and all this. It's definitely sad to see, but like Caleb said, we gotta let him go. We gotta look at the younger talent as well. And as far as the Clippers, they're cooked. This team has kind of been cooked for a minute. We tried to hold on to the Clippers, Paul George and Kawhi, and see what was gonna happen, but none was happening. Let's be honest here. We all knew he wasn't gonna start this regular season as in Team USA when he played. I still don't know why they threw him out there on the roster. The Clippers didn't even want him to play. Yeah, this situation, Kawhi Leonard should just go ahead and retire. I think it's just the best thing to do, but still chase that bag, earn as much bread as you can, because he's still great. He's still putting up great numbers. Got to look towards the future.
Pivot off one of those last points that you made. I think it's time for me, and like I said, fellas, y'all can join in whenever you want to, start pointing my vitriol towards Stephen A. Smith. So, Team USA, that's the Olympics. Kawhi Leonard has never been a part of Team USA. The fact that he was getting backlash and he was getting criticism for wanting to represent his country doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And that's what I'm talking about guys being disgusting with their commentary for Kawhi Leonard. I'm trying to figure out what is really the problem. Why do they have something against Kawhi Leonard? Is it a personality issue? Is it because Kawhi didn't give your lame ass an interview, Stephen A. Smith? Did he make fun of your hairline? I'm trying to figure out what happened and why there's an issue between Stephen A. Smith and Kawhi Leonard. Now let's talk about the money. One thing that we didn't even acknowledge, we just rambled about Kawhi Leonard's greatness and essentially are giving him his flowers. He is one of the best two-way players in the game. In this current iteration of the NBA, the old guard are constantly talking about how there's not a lot of defense played. Kawhi Leonard is giving it to you on both ends, offense and defense, even when he is going through these injuries. And we all know it takes a lot more energy and a lot more effort to slide those things when you're not healthy. And Kawhi Leonard has done that over the course of his entire career. But are niggas like Stephen A. giving guys like Kawhi Leonard their flowers for being a true two-way? No, but niggas want to give props and give credit to all of these offensive-minded guys that don't play defense at all and are still load managing. So what's your excuse? All you do is focus on scoring on offense. You're not playing any defense and you're load managing. Like everybody load manages. Guys like Kawhi Leonard and older players in the NBA actually need it, actually require it. And what's wrong with a man trying to get his worth? At the end of the day, Kawhi Leonard is a superstar level talent. It's not like he's getting a super max deal to these other players getting. He's just getting his worth. Like, shouldn't these guys be getting paid? Should they not be getting the bag? So essentially what Stephen A. Smith wants to do is he wants the Clippers to shortchange Kawhi Leonard, which is going to do what? Which is going to make him unhappy, which is going to make him leave and try to go to another team to get his worth. And Stephen A. is going to say that team is making the decision. So basically you don't want the man to get his worth. It's just a difficult situation for me to really comprehend. And the fact that you got guys that have these big media platforms, so you know that people that are watching are going to agree with whatever they say because they have a voice. And Kawhi Leonard is not that type of guy that's going to go back and forth with somebody like a Stephen A. Smith. He's not a Kevin Durant. He's not even like a LeBron James. He's not going to respond. That leaves people like Stephen A. Smith to really kind of bully Kawhi Leonard in a sense of just not allowing him to have his respect. Can the man please be respected? Because Stephen A. Smith is the type of nigga, honestly, if Kawhi Leonard were to come out and say that he's retiring tomorrow, he would have a problem with it and say, oh, but you're still going to collect your money, It's fucking ridiculous. It's insane. As CJ said, Kawhi Leonard, we're going to keep you in our prayers, brother. Hopefully you make a decision that's best for you and for your family. I'm good with you if you want to continue to play. I'm good if you want to hang it up as well. Whatever makes that man happy.